Hi. 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 Huh. 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 That took all day to get up here from all the way down below. That feels rather too long. So I think this episode we gotta change that. Hello everyone, it's Yuki here and welcome back to another episode from the Eternals SMP. I think this is episode 6 if I'm not mistaken, and it's been a while since I've posted anything. I've been busy with life, haven't really been on a server for about a month or so now, but we are back to make content, back to make episodes, and I hope you guys didn't miss me too much. As you saw there in the intro, it's a bit of a pain to get up this mountain, and I don't want to always just fly, and I have a few plans over here over the next couple of episodes. And the idea is that, first of all, we need to make a shop. We need to make an iron shop, right? And we want people to be able to access this said iron shop. So why not combine both things? I need a way up the mountain. They will need a way to my shop. So let's combine both. I'm gonna have to probably gather some materials, specifically some glass and probably some cobwebs to make this work the way I want it to. I've never really built this in Minecraft, so if you guys know what I'm trying to build, leave a comment down below. If not, then stick around and you're gonna find out. Alright, so the first step is to get some cobble, and if I'm not mistaken, there is some kind of mine shaft down the mine that I started with. I think it's on the tunnel that goes to the right here first, which I believe it's almost all the way to the bottom. And here it is. So let's see if I get lucky and get some cobwebs. I got a good few torches on me, and I brought the shears, luckily. So let's grab these. They kind of make a really weird noise now. I don't know how I feel about that. Feels much creepier than it used to, if I'm gonna be honest. You can hear a lot of spiders around here, so there might be some kind of spider spawner, which is technically what I'm looking for, because that has the most cobwebs, but I would prefer to be rather careful because there might be cave spiders, and they seem to be a lot of them. I don't know how many cobwebs I need, I'll be honest. I probably should have brought more food, but I guess there's nothing I can do about that right now. There's a good few cobwebs, so that's a good thing. Oh, that's gonna fall. I saw it. I saw the particles. Usually I don't notice the particles, but I did this time. I think there is actually a way to farm cobwebs now with the new update, right? I think with the potions or something like that it was. Don't really know exactly how it works, but I think you can get some kind of potion that you can actually brew, and, you know, killing mobs or something, I think it gives you some effect that spawns cobwebs. I really need to look into that. It could come in handy further down the line. Even though I only need a few for this build, who knows how much I would need later on. It looks like there's a chest over here. I've been here earlier on, but I wasn't recording, so I'm just gonna show you what I discovered. There's a diamond, not too bad. Some rails, I don't have space. Some glowberries. I don't really need anything from here, to be completely honest. I definitely don't want the string, but I'm gonna take off these cobwebs. I'm gonna take all these iron ores and stuff because I might need these just further down the line to trade with other Eternals, since this is part of our economy now. I don't need the glowberries, and I think the rail is fine. I will just break this and let's try to get something useful. Maybe I'll get the minecart. Oh, you can't actually get the chests by themselves now. I forgot that it actually drops. Oh yeah, and I found the spider spawner here, so like I said, it's definitely a cave spider. And then let's go wild. I would assume that there might be another spawner further in, so I'm gonna have to be careful about that one, because spiders are fairly quick. Oh my god, those cave sounds are Still not for me. As much as I like this game, whenever I hear those cave sounds, it just terrifies me. Okay, so it looks like it's just a single spider spawner, which it's both good and bad, I guess. It's bad because I could have gotten more cobwebs, but then again it's good because I don't have to fight any spawn spiders. And by the looks of it, there might be another one over here because there's a cave spider right there. So let's grab this lapis quick. Oh, I don't have space for it. We can throw the bones, definitely. So let's kill this guy. Oh yeah, he was just stuck over here, so that's not a big deal. I already have 61, and honestly, I don't think I need much more than that. But I'm gonna explore a bit more just to see if I can find anything else around here, just in case there's another chest and there's some good loot in it. But that should give me plenty to achieve of what I actually want to do over here. Maybe we'll grab a few more just to get a full stack. So it's got 63 now. And 64, yeah, so we got a full stack. I don't really need to worry about having more. In case I'm gonna need more, I can always just come back. It's not gonna be a big deal to come back over here since it's rather easy. Okay, so I got back to the base and I decided actually that instead of gathering all the materials and all that to have everything ready, I'm just gonna start the build and gather the materials as I need them, because I was trying to find a few designs online and there's not really much out there of what I want to build. So I think I'm just gonna try to make something myself without getting any inspiration whatsoever, and I guess we're gonna make something unique. If you didn't guess yet what exactly I'm going to build here, it's going to be a waterfall, and I'm considering to build some kind of waterfall that has the iron shop hidden behind it. So I don't know if I'm gonna get to the iron shop today, but at least I want to get the waterfall going. It's going to be somewhere from up there coming down here, and as you can see, it has a pretty good area here where some kind of lake, let's call it, can form. So it seems like a pretty good area to have a waterfall in. I'm gonna have to get rid of that tree, but let's fly up there and see where exactly would I be able to start this from. I'm going to have to make maybe some kind of river over here, or maybe I'm just gonna have the waterfall start from some rocks maybe. I don't know exactly how I want it fully done yet, but I think I'm just gonna place a bucket of water over here, and let's go into camera mode and see how this water is gonna flow down. I think it's gonna go pretty much into a straight line because that's the shortest way, and it shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, here we go. So here it kind of spread it a bit, and then all of it should just gather in that area over there. So let's go grab another bucket. So I added 5 buckets of water up there, and I think it's kind of wide enough. Obviously it's gonna go in a bit wider in some places, a bit thinner in others. I'm gonna have to remove a lot of this dirt that's here. It doesn't feel right to have dirt behind the waterfall, so I'm gonna have to replace all that and actually fully make it in stone. And this is where the cobweb actually comes into play. I wanted to do something around the lines where, you know, you have the water basically, so obviously that's gonna wipe it off, so I need to be careful how I place it. But if you do place this cobweb over here, so let's say I do it right there, it kind of looks like the, I don't know how you would call that, like, you know, when the water kind of sprays off, it looks like the spray of the water. So I'm thinking to add that around the corners of the water. So for example, if I go up here, I actually can climb the water, because that's why I'm kind of making a waterfall for this. So let's say I put one over here, and then one there. And let's get rid of this. Yeah, it adds to that aesthetic that I wanted to achieve, to be honest. So the whole idea is that I'm gonna have to tear down the whole dirt that's around here. Maybe shape the waterfall slightly, because having it so straight doesn't particularly work. And also it doesn't really work that it's extended over here. So I'm gonna have to put some stone to kind of keep the water in check, let's say, because in real life, water wouldn't just flow down like this. It probably would just spread all the way down there. So I'm gonna have to add a border over here to make it look better. So I am considering actually, instead of adding that border, to dig one block in instead. I think that would make a bit more sense. So I think I'm gonna have to remove the water, dig the block in, and then pour the water back in. So let's get started on that. This took a while, but I think I'm fairly happy with how it turned out. I had to expand the water slightly to kind of force it with a few water buckets there and there. So it's not the same stream that just comes from the top. I had to slightly redirect it for it to work the way I wanted it to. But I feel like it actually works pretty well down here. I think I'm gonna have to, you know, kind of terraform a bit around here just to close this off, because like I said, it looks rather weird. I'm gonna add a few more cobwebs in the small things where the water kind of splashes off the rocks, and I'm gonna have to replace all this grass with stone to actually make it look decent. So it's a rather big project, I would say, to make it look really nice and to actually make it functional as well further down the line. And I actually have to think of how I want to integrate this shop into here. If that's gonna be possible at all, I might actually just do a whole shop near it altogether rather than just making it inside like I was planning to, but we'll see about that and how it's gonna work out in the end. And one live stream later, we got a pretty decent looking waterfall. It's obviously not finished. I still have to do a good bit. I want to add a lot of greenery around it, especially down here, probably all the way up there. Add a bit of texture around it. It's currently just stone. There's a bit of cobblestone, some tuff here and there. I added some deep slate over there just to kind of see, like, you know, it's really far into the waterfall, so like there's a shadow being cast in there. I then added the cobwebs to represent the splash of the water. I added some seagrass over here, some kelp, and then I added these drip leaf. Let's see if I can make it. And almost this time. So it's a bit of a pain if you miss the last jump, but this is basically, if you can tell, this is going to be my iron shop. So obviously I have to dig in a bit more over here to fully get it done, but it kind of gives you the opportunity to do a bit of parkour over here. Obviously you don't have to. You can probably get there without. You can you know, climb around here or something and then jump around here, or you can just swim into the water. This is kind of just to add a bit of variation, to give you a bit of an opportunity to have a small mini game to the actual shop. Then I added a bit of grass over here. If you look into, you know, waterfalls and all that, you can sometimes see like a lot of sediment and, like, you know, branches and whatever being stuck. So that's kind of what I want that to represent. It's kind of hard to put branches and, you know, dirt in there that would look natural. So I kind of feel like that grass works as it should be. So now I want to get some greenery around the base over here first to see how it's gonna look like. Probably gonna add some bushes, some 2 tall flowers probably, or something like that. And then some bamboo, you know, keep it like green and nice. Maybe even some sugarcane around here. I know there's a lot of stone, so I might have to kind of destroy the stone and add some dirt, maybe even add some mud, because, you know, the dirt is getting wet from all that. And yeah, let's gather some of those resources and I'll be right back. So I managed to get a bit of a vibe going over here. I added a bit of color. I added a weird azalea tree here. I don't know, kind of square. Looked like it's been like windswept to that side. In a way, I kind of like it. Then I added some bamboo over here. Let's make it grow. I added some cherry blossoms, some wheat, some sugarcane. That's gonna grow soon enough. I added the 2 tall flowers, some lily pads in the water, just to kind of give you a bit of a pause here. If you missed this, you can just go over here and jump over that, let's say. Then I added this moss all around here because it feels like more green near the water. And then this kind of looks like it's a bit muddy. There's some mud under that. Some mud over here, not too much, is just here and there. And then I actually realized something that is gonna make my life a bit easier now, which is all this is mainly made out of stone. And I want to actually use moss around here, and that stone is gonna convert all into moss, and it's gonna make my life so much easier actually. I know that it's not going to convert fully, so it's still going to be some stone over here, so I'm going to have to manually do that. But as a general idea, it's going to be much easier than I thought, and I completely forgot about the moss converting the stone. Yeah, let's give it a try over here. So for example, if I do this, yeah, so it does go up, which is a really good thing. I'm going to have to get rid of all this grass that forms around here, which is a bit of a pain, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal. I wish I wouldn't just get caught in that. That would be pretty fantastic. But this seems to be working pretty well, and I think the green of the moss would actually look so much better than what I originally had planned. The only thing is that I'm gonna have to manually replace this stone with the moss to make it work. So for example, if I look into camera mode right now, I need to say that I don't mind the stone being there that much, but I definitely have to remove all the grass that forms, and I'm thinking to add some leaves around here. So yeah, the grass 100% needs to go. We all pretty much know that grass always needs to go. It just doesn't look good. But I think we're getting summer with this moss, and with the rain coming in and make it even more dramatic than it actually needs to be. You can see that I added a few lights. The torches I'm gonna have to get rid of. I think I'm gonna use lichen because you can't see that, but it does give that small little glow that I actually want. And I think I'm going to put the lichen around the iron blocks over there to kind of make it more obvious that that is the entrance. And this is pretty much what I've got. So I added a good bit of leaves. Maybe I'll need to add a bit more. Let me know down in the comments if you feel like I should add more, or maybe I should transform more of this stone into moss, or any other suggestions that you might have to improve this waterfall. But at its current state, I'm actually pretty happy how it turned out. I think it's a bit too bland with only having one color flower, so maybe I'll use a few of these roses up there kind of mixed in between, so it's not just all purple and pink. I think that might actually help a bit to draw you in. And yeah, I feel like it really works. One last finishing touch that I actually added are some vines. I want to see how much they would actually expand. And if they do expand the way I'm thinking they will hide the stone just slightly. So like that, it's not as gray, but it's not green either. So it looks like it's getting mossy now from the waterfall being here. So I feel like that would be a really nice touch. So I'm hoping that they will expand by their own and I'm not gonna have to manually place them. But if they don't, then I'm gonna manually place the few more over the stone over here, over there, over here. I think it's just the big pieces of stone that really make it not look as good. So for example, that small one I actually really like. But when it comes to this kind of big piece over here, I feel like adding a bit of vines would actually make it look much, much better. So let's add this lichen over here. Is that gonna mess up the flow of the water? I don't think it will. Seems to still be okay. It kind of made it a bit weirder over here, but I don't mind it as much. That's totally fine. I'm gonna take a bucket of water because I think the issue is that the lichen is not actually waterlogged, and that's the issue that we're facing. A string being here means that one of the cobwebs actually got destroyed, which is not particularly good. But as you can see, you can actually waterlog this. And once it's all waterlogged, it actually looks much better. So let's try to squeeze in between this cobweb. There's actually a lot more lichen over here. So I think I'm gonna make a small water source inside just to not make it so complicated to just place a bit of water, because as you can see, I'm getting caught in every single bit of cobweb. And this is actually something that I hate that I did. I should have left the cobwebs all the way to the end, because right now it's such a huge pain. Everything that I put up there, I was getting caught into the cobwebs, and it's so bad. So having them put last, I think that would have improved building this so much more. So one over here, one over there, and then one over here. I think that's it. And it still actually keeps this like an airlock over here, which is really good. I'm happy with that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's walk out. See how exactly does it look like right now. So it's very subtle, the lighting on that, to be honest, and you can't really tell that that's iron now. So I think I'm gonna actually remove it, because I don't feel like it works as I thought it will, unfortunately. Let's see if I can make this parkour. Oh, got stuck. Yeah, I think I'm gonna remove this, because unfortunately it definitely doesn't work as I thought it will. And maybe I'm just gonna add some lichen over here. Let's see. Let's place one here, and then maybe one there, and maybe one here. It's gonna give it a bit of a glow. I might actually add a bit more behind the waterfall, probably a bit where that torch is. But yeah, as a general idea, I really enjoy how this turned out. So now I just have to build that shop over here. For the moment, I think I'm just gonna make just a few chests over there and try to come up with some pricing. And with time, I'm gonna try to expand it a bit more. So for the moment, I don't expect anyone to want to buy too much iron. We are still rather early in the season, so I'm just gonna make a small shop basically with everything that we have over there. And then the more iron we're gonna sell, then I'm probably gonna expand that, make it bigger. But I think I'm still gonna keep it in the same place. So I'm just gonna expand the inside of that. I don't think I'm gonna move it somewhere else. And we actually made it that we can now build small shops alongside the paths that we have in between our bases. So for example, this over here is the path that goes over to gaugers. So for example, if I wanted to, I could build like a really small kind of shop thingy over here, because this is a crossroads, so anyone that would pass through that would be able to see my shop. But we kind of limited, we'll only be able to sell like a, you know, a stack at a time or something like that, just if someone needs something really quick. But still, that's gonna help us out slightly. And this is it. This is the simple iron shop. I added some glowberries over here. I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. I don't feel it. But the glowberries basically kind of show you from outside that there's something in here. And then I added all the barrels over here. I added some trapdoors over some of the barrels, because I don't actually have enough iron to fill all of them. And I didn't want to just leave gaps. So I feel like this is kind of an interesting idea to do. And then I have a good few blocks in here, 1 diamond for 16. I don't know necessarily if it's too expensive. I'm gonna have to talk to the other Eternals to see if they think it's too much or maybe it's too cheap. We'll see what that consensus comes to. And yeah, this is basically the shop. I think we are pretty much done and achieved the goals for this episode. I kind of like how it looks like, the feel of it. So, you know, the more I'm gonna do this, maybe I'll add some kind of, I don't know, some kind of vault thing over here maybe, gonna do like a, I don't know, like a glass floor maybe, add like a pile of iron downstairs just to kind of looks like this is where all the iron is getting stashed. And then we'll see what else I can come up with further in the season. The more iron we sell, then the more we can expand this cave, right? Because at the moment, technically, we're poor. We don't really have too many diamonds. So once I manage to actually get a few more, I can make this look much, much better. As always, thank you for tuning in. Your support does mean a lot. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and share your thoughts below. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Until next time, happy crafting!